ということは相手の可能性を奪うことよ。それが身を守るためでも。
これからの俺を見ていてくれ、ディア。それで判断してほしい。
そう、見ているわ。聞かないよう。バニシングソロー、堂々総動画量フラムルージュ、そこまでよ。
変わりたい。変わらなきゃいけないんだ。
自分が生まれなかったらなんて家庭は無意味よ。あなたはあなただけの人生を生きてる。あなただけしか知らない体験、あなただけしか知らない感情、それを否定しないで。
お前って強いな。
そうかしら。
Hello everyone, I have no idea how to start this, so let me first wish you an amazing new year, lots of great things, yeah, the usual stuff. And let's go directly to the main topics. Like last time, I'll first talk a bit about the new run, and then I'll give you some insights about the channel updates. The tier run was actually planned in 2015. Yes, that's more than 5 years ago, but unfortunately my PS2 died during that same year when I was doing the special New Year stream, and I was basically stuck with no way of recording the game, so yeah, that sucked. And if you know me, you probably remember that it was the run I was very sad to cancel when I retired. So to finally see it happen today definitely means a lot to me. Let me now first start with my favorite part, announcing the restrictions. Tier solo, unknown mode, no damage, no item, blah blah blah, the usual stuff. No free run, as in I'm staying on the same line. And no menu. For that last one, I'm not totally sure yet because I haven't done any of the optional bosses, so maybe I will have to switch accessories during battles or things like that. So I will try to keep it, but I'm not sure yet. And that's about it. No additional restrictions because due to the damage formula in this game and the overall poor balance, adding no herb or same level or below restrictions are just completely out of question. For it's still interesting to note that I barely grinded any herb for this run. I think I started against the last encounter versus Kaiser Dist. And that's basically because Tyr is somehow an amazing solo fighter. She has an easier access to spells thanks to enhanced casts, and that just helps her so much to deal damage and for crowd control. So fights ended up being much shorter than I initially thought they would be. If I had to sum up my feelings about this run, I would say it's one that I really enjoyed recording. I was able to use some of Tyr's hearts that are usually overlooked, and I think I found some decent use for them. But the reason I enjoyed it a lot is that I was able to find some new texts that definitely changed the way I play this game now, and that I really wanted to showcase. I feel like Abyss is a rather easy game to run, but I also definitely see why it's such a popular entry. Like, it doesn't have much bullshit, and it's not brain dead either if you remove free run. There's still some challenge, enemies patterns are quite interesting to learn. So yeah, overall it's a very, very nice game to solo, and I definitely recommend that one for players who would like to try it. Also, due to that difficulty, I ended up remaking multiple times some fights to get takes that I'm actually happy with, so what you will watch is a run that is most likely definitive and that will never be remade. And I'm glad about that since I've been struggling with the remakes of past runs during those last 4 years. Another thing I would like to show you, it's completely new, it's a new format. I made it for this run, it's a difficulty graph. Let me explain what it is. Basically, what I did is I created a chart with every main boss, and I gave them a note to rank how easy or hard they were. I initially went with something like easy, hard, very hard, but it was very subjective and dependent on the player's skills. And one very hard for Abyss is not even equivalent to something like hard in Destiny 2, for instance. So I decided to rank the fights only within the scope of this run. So I chose some comparative adjectives like harder, hardest, and I prefer this because it's easier for me to tell where the difficulty spikes were during the run. So here we go. I'll probably do some more for my previous runs, but I think I will release them only on the server because it's time I start some platform exclusive content. As you can see, there's not much balance. The run alternates a lot between hard and easy fights, but we can still see that globally the first half of the game is easier, and if we look at the right side, it becomes slightly harder overall. Tiger Queen was definitely the easiest one, which has to be expected for the very first boss of the game, but I would say that the hardest one was Kaiserdienst XX, with Tyrannopion just behind it. This thing has just a lot of unfair hitboxes, and like many of those hard bosses, the overall strat is usually to bait, dodge and punish, which is definitely the most efficient strat, but it's also quite boring to watch, so that's the kind of fights I try to remake multiple times to show something different and more interesting. I also tried to think of this run from your point of view as a viewer, because usually Abyss runs are quite straightforward and you basically feel like you've seen everything after a few fights. So to make you feel more invested in this run, I marked all the times that I used new arts and also I would say points of interest so that you know exactly which fights you can expect something special. I think I mentioned everything I wanted to say about this run. Actually no, but I'm too lazy to record more. Now about the channel. End of 2020 gave me a lot of free time, and even despite that I wasn't able to do everything I wanted to do. So it made me realize that for YouTube and this channel there will never be any plan anymore. What I mean is, if things happen, they happen because I feel like it. This is something I do in my free time. I don't get recognition, I don't get money. I don't even know how you can get money with this series, to be honest. I just get the satisfaction of completing something, of challenging myself, and that's all. So I don't see any reason to put more pressure on my shoulders for that. That goes for the tier content as well. The videos will be released when I feel like editing them. So if you want well-scheduled and regular content, then I'm sorry, but this channel isn't for you. Although that doesn't mean I will let this channel die. Like, I still have way too many ideas for content, so they may eventually happen someday. Like in 2020 I enjoyed a lot streaming, especially stupid stuff, so I just can't wait to finish Berseria to go back to the NDX hardcore challenge, and I'll probably also do more speedruns for this game because that was just hype. I had a lot of fun with them and I want to do more of them. In terms of videos, I'm slowly going back to high level NDX stuff. Takes a bit of time because I basically stopped practicing for 2 years, but you can probably expect a few things for the game since I want to showcase some costumes and characters I didn't use during the run. I will keep the current format for videos. I may use more the compilation and the heroes formats again, because they are actually quite practical when I feel like doing a few bosses with a character I like. You can also beat farewell to video descriptions, because due to the way YouTube works and the ratio investment versus feedback, it's just not worth my time anymore. So it will just be minimal from now on. And I guess that's about it. So yeah, the major update was one more run. Yeah. And no plan anymore. Things will happen if they happen. And that's it. So, did you expect all of this, or was that a surprise? Because I can tell you still don't know what to expect. That's right, there's not only one, but 4 runs in total. That should be enough content for a while. I will also do an announcement video for each of them in the future. And yeah, I just hope you're as hyped as I am, and that you will enjoy them as much as I had fun recording them. That will be all for today. Thanks everyone for watching and your support as usual, and let's have another fun year together!